I'm sick. I just woke up. But I want to get into what made me start TikToking and really getting into social media and why I'm branching out into YouTube. Just because I wanted to share my experience. Because I think, honestly, getting into social media has been really hard. And it's funny because, like, you think it's just like, oh, I'm just going to make videos and that's fine. But I actually am very technology is really hard for me. And so, like, learning how to edit TikToks took me a long, long time. And then just now even trying to be consistent and making my YouTube, it's hard for me. And it's like so embarrassing because I feel like stupid. Like genuinely trying to figure out how to use a camera and then put that onto my computer and then put that onto YouTube. Like I feel so incredibly stupid. And I don't know if other people have a hard time or if they're just like, they're like really good at it, but I'm not one of those people. And so I actually started TikToking because my mom had just died of cancer and I was honestly a fucking wreck. Like I was just really sad and I needed something to do to keep my mind busy. And at the time my son was like 8 months old, but 8 months old, like they take naps like twice a day. And I'm someone like I cannot be still and I cannot be alone in my own head because that place is scary as fuck and I don't want to be there. And so I was just like always, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I was a stay-at-home mom before I stayed home with my special needs sister, raising my brother, my 2 kids. I had 1 kid and I was a stay-at-home mom. I was a stay-at-home wife before I was a stay-at-home mom. So I've always been like, I have to keep myself busy. Otherwise, I downward spiral. And especially since getting sober, like whenever I was using, I could just take substances and like numb all the voices in my head. Now I like hear them and I gotta like coordinate and like think properly, So I just really needed something to put my energy into. And I started making cleaning videos on TikTok about like how I would clean my house. I literally cleaned, like my house would be so clean. It's really, now it's not, my house is still pretty clean. Don't look at my hoarding closet, okay? But it's like there's not like a speck of dust anywhere because I would spend like all day cleaning, like fine, like to the little cracks in like every inch of the house, like just really, really trying to put my energy into something. And so I made videos about it. I love doing like my makeup and my hair. I've always been really into that, so I made videos about that. And then I got enough followers where I could go live, and I would literally get on live and just like cry to strangers about my mom dying, because I just needed someone to cry to. And I was living in Texas by myself at that time with my husband and my kid, and like I'm not close with anyone really, and I was like the only person I've ever really been close with is my special needs sister, and you don't really want to like call her to like cry because poor girl, she's already sad and like doesn't really understand what's going on anyway. So I felt really, and I'm in another state, so I felt really alone. I talked to my dad, like once a day, which is kind of a lot for some people, but for me, like that wasn't a lot. I used to talk to my mom on the phone, like we would FaceTime like 5 hours a day, every single day. Hi, buddy. Oh. You can sit with me. So, I was just so sad about my mom dying. I would literally just get on TikTok to cry to strangers about how I was feeling and really keep myself and my mind busy. Now I have 2 beautiful sons. I'm about to have my 3rd son. I got a comment on my TikTok asking, I made like a video and in it, like I held my stomach. And they were like, are you pregnant or just holding your stomach? And I'm like, I'm 8 months pregnant. In like 4 days, I'll be 8 months pregnant. I'll be in the 8-month mark. So I'm hugely pregnant. And I think that people on TikTok thought I was just built funky as hell or something. Like, they just thought I was built like that or like I'm just fat. Like, I don't even know what the hell they were thinking. Because I've been getting that comment a lot, like, oh my God, are you pregnant? Or I'm just realizing you're pregnant. Like, I've been pregnant. I'm about to be not pregnant. I'm 8 months pregnant. Like, I don't know what, I just makes me think, I'm like, damn, they just thought I was built funky. And that makes me so upset. Like, y'all just thought I was fat. No, I'm like severely pregnant. This is Shirley Temple. See, now I'm like out of breath. See how pregnant I am? But that's why I started TikToking. And then when my dad died, so he died 8 weeks after my mom. It was really hard losing my dad too. And from there, I moved out to Arizona to take care of my siblings because I was out there. He died on Thanksgiving, and I had gone out to Arizona for Thanksgiving to be with my dad and my family and stuff. And he wasn't answering my calls, and I thought it was really weird because I had landed and I was staying at my in-laws' house, because last time I stayed, I was staying with my dad when my mom died, and my little sister was mean to my son. At the time, my oldest son was 10 months old, or 8 months old, and she was putting her feet on him, and I say she kicked him. She's like, I didn't kick him, I moved him with my foot. That's the definition of kicking a baby. The way that someone might kick a little dog, barking at their feet or something, that's how she kicked my son. And so I just didn't feel safe with him in the house being with her. And my dad was just going through a lot. He didn't have the mental capacity to even defend me. He was just like, why can't you guys get along? And it's you can't get along with someone kicking your 8-month-old baby. You really can't. And so by the time we went out there for Thanksgiving to visit, my son was 10, 11 months, something like that, and I was just I'm not staying with you guys. I can't do it, because not only is my little sister always treating me like shit, but now she's treating my son bad, and she's never treated my son oh, that's my nephew. It's always been ew, because she has always treated me like shit, and so she really took that out on my son as well. And you never know what people are going to do to your kids whenever you're alone. If she can kick him in front of me while I'm standing right next to her, imagine what she would do whenever I'm not looking. So I just didn't want to stay there. I stayed at my in-laws, and I was my dad's not answering my phone. My phone call is I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what's wrong. And the next day, I got a call from the hospital, and they're no, I got a call from my grandma saying he was in the hospital and not doing well, and that's why he wasn't answering my calls. And so I go to the hospital, and he is intubated and stuff. So I pretty much came out here and could only say goodbye to him. It just sucks, because I came out here for my mom, and just to say goodbye to her, and then I just come out here and have to say goodbye to my dad, and it was horrible. It's some of the most painful, this shit I've ever been through my whole life. And that really just inspired me to start sharing my life, because I really needed some sort of outlet and some way just to talk about how I felt. And for me, that was social media. And I go to the house, and my special needs sister was home alone. My little brothers, both minors, and have a lot of issues, were home alone. I posted pictures on my TikTok, the glass in our back door was broken out because they were playing with a BB gun, and they shot out the back door. They shot inside the house and broke the oven, so there was a gas leak with the oven that me and my husband had to fix. My special needs sister wears diapers and had to has to be bathed, and no one was bathing her. It was horrible the way that there's no food in the house. Everyone just we have family that lives out here, and no one came to check on my siblings And it's just so hard because, like, we were all already losing our parents. And they just were left, like, destitute. And my little sister that kicked my baby, she lived here with her husband, and they didn't care at all. They just left, and, you know, they went to work, and they would leave Tati. They really did not care what was going on, and they didn't care to take care of anybody. And honestly, that's just like the kind of person she is. She doesn't have a maternal bone in her body, and so I just think that that's just, she didn't want to have to take care of anybody. But not only did she not want to take care of anybody, she was not going to take care of anybody. Because she could have easily had a caregiver here with Tati, but that takes still coordinating effort, and you still have to, like, work, like, you know, put effort into making sure Tati has a caregiver. She didn't even want to do that. So once I saw the way my siblings were living, then I moved out here to Arizona and just started taking care of them and really getting into, like, vlogging and sharing my journey as losing my parents, transitioning into taking care of my siblings, and, you know, motherhood. You have to think, I lost my parents before my son was even 1. So I'm a new mom, raising my siblings, going through grief, and I just wanted to share with other people what that looked like for me, because it was really, really hard. I don't want to cry because I'm just, like, I'm pregnant and emotional, but it also, like, literally so hard. It was very hard. That's the only way I know how to describe it. And I just wanted to share that because I didn't want to feel alone in the journey of what I'm doing, and I did. I felt so alone. And you would think that, like, I would have, like, family, but I had no family that cared. Honestly, whenever my mom passed away, her family kind of acted like we didn't exist anymore. All my dad's family lived in Texas, and they came out for, like, a little bit, you know, for his funeral and stuff, but the only person I had was my husband, and my husband's at work all day, so it's like, I just wanted someone to talk to, so I just started talking to the camera, and that's how I got here talking to you guys.